We're joined by Okoi Obono-Obla, who is a legal practitioner, was also a member of the Legal and Security Directorate of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. He joins us from Abuja. Morning, and thank you for joining us today. The thing is that there are many who are quite disappointed with the way things are going. They're still wondering, we're supposed to be talking about governance, but embroiled in politicking. They just wonder, when will all of this come to an end? You also might have read, or of course you're following what is going on. Are you as disappointed as many others say they are?
Absolutely not disappointed. What is playing out is politics, and we should expect that in a country with the mosaic complexity of Nigeria. It is not also strange, even in the United States, that is supposed to be the bastion of democracy. In India, in UK, everywhere, you see politics. What is politics? Scholars have defined politics in so many different ways. The one that is so attractive to me is that politics is a struggle to allocate resources in a society. So resources are not many, so there's always a struggle by one faction, by one group, by one wing to outwit another. That is what we see playing out, and I'm not disappointed.
But some say, pardon me to jump in, some say, look, this kind, or what they think it is, their interpretation of what they see is allocating resources to themselves, not for the country.
The struggle for leadership, I don't see it as a struggle by the legislators to allocate resources to themselves per se. I don't subscribe to that. It is the struggle by the different factions, by the different wings, by the different tendencies in APC for leadership. And it is normal because APC is a big party. I was the co-secretary of the Joint Inter-Party Merger Committee that negotiated the formation of APC. And we envisaged that we were going to have a large party made up of different tendencies, made up of different factions, made up of different wings. And they are fighting among themselves to control, to outwit one another. There is nothing wrong with that.
While you were in that committee negotiating how they came together, did you see this kind of thing coming? Because some of the groups there felt that the leadership of the party was just trying to alienate them from mainstream politics, and they just thought, no, it's democracy on the floor of the House that is playing out, and not as the leadership of the party wants it to be.
Yes, we foresaw that initially when we were negotiating. It was ACN, AMPP, CPC, a faction of ABGA, and then also a faction of DPP. The new PDP was not there, but after INEC registered APC, the new PDP came in. But if you look at the APC constitution, I think the committee was headed by a very experienced person, the constitutional drafting committee. I think it was the former governor of Ogun State, who was a member of ACN then, Shegun Oshoba. We envisaged that we are going to have a party that is strong, a party that is supreme. So that is it. So in as much as they are struggling, they must bow to the supremacy of the party, because I don't see the party directing them on how to pick or select the leadership. I don't see that as interference. In the first place, if you look at the constitution of Nigeria, we have 3 branches of government, and these branches of government are supposed to be separate. But that is in theory. In practice, their functions overlap. For instance, let me give you an example. The president can make law under our constitution, despite the fact that it is the National Assembly that is constitutionally empowered to make law. The National Assembly can also function as a court. The National Assembly can summon you to appear, and if you fail, they can initiate committal proceedings, contempt proceedings against you. So you can see that the division is not too, pronounced in practice. So they overlap. So if the party says, look, this is what we want, for goodness sake, they should follow the party's line, because that is the platform which they use to become members of the National Assembly.
Okay, well, Mr. Obla, the Speaker raised an issue which he says has gone beyond him. That while the party has sent in the letter, before the party's letter came recommending or directing that certain people be announced as officers in certain positions, he had gotten a court summons, so to speak, that the case was in court already, and it had to do with the federal character. Is the party not considering this?
I think that is a gimmickry. I will call it a gimmickry. Ordinarily, the court has no jurisdiction to interfere with the internal workings of the National Assembly, in this case, the House of Representatives. So I do not see how that case should make the National Assembly or the House of Reps to disobey the party. Let us see the processes. We are passing the processes. Is there any order? I don't think any court of law in Nigeria can issue that order.
Okay, but if you say the court...
This issue of federal character, I think it's a boogie. It's a red herring, because Nigerians are so sentimental. Everybody says, look, I want my part of the country to be represented in leadership. So I don't think the Speaker is just using that as a red herring. It is not true.
Okay, but if you say the court...
Obeying the party does not tantamount to violation of the federal character principle.
If you say the court has no right or has no place interfering in internal workings of the National Assembly...
That is the law.
Does the party have the right to do that?
To do what?
To interfere in the internal workings of the National Assembly.
The party has not interfered with the internal working. The party has not directed the legislators, this is how you are going to vote in any party, a bill that has been presented before the House of Representatives. But the party has a right to say this is how the leadership of the House should be selected. It is not peculiar to Nigeria. It is, you find out in the United States, that is a bastion of presidential system of government which Nigeria is operating. So I do not see that as an interference in any way. It's acts of insubordination and indiscipline for the Speaker and his group to continue to disobey the party. They should leave the party, for goodness sake, because the party is a platform which they use to become members of the House. We don't have independent candidacy in Nigeria. So if they are members of APC, they must obey the party. I do not see that as interference.
Is the party not sensitive? I mean, even yes, well, you might say that the federal character is a boogie. But is the party not sensitive to the fact that it would seem unconsciously the country has adopted this zoning thing in its DNA?
Well, I don't see the party has not violated any the federal character provision of the Constitution in any way. For instance, in the executive branch of government, we have the president is from the northwest, the vice president is from the southwest. In the Senate, the president is from the north central, the deputy president is from the south east. In the House of Representatives, the Speaker is from the north central. No, the Speaker is from the northeast. And the Deputy Speaker is from the southwest. So that is it. It has been reflected. The federal character principle has been reflected. It must not be that the federal character principles must be reflected in everything. That would be absurd.
Just a moment, though. You just spoke about the Senate, reflecting the federal character principle, and you're referring to the Deputy Senate President as, representing that part of the zoning arrangement, it would seem. Is your party accepting that finally? Well,
that is for another day. I think today we are talking about the House of Representatives. Let's talk about
it's important because you were the one who mentioned it, and I just thought, perhaps I should bring this to the fore. Maybe there's been an acceptance.
Well, I am not aware. Executive of the party, so I cannot speak to for the party on that issue. I'm just an honorary member of the party and a member of the committee of the party. So for that of the Senate, I think we should leave it for another day.
But in the House of Representatives and so far at the executive level, you feel that your party, even though unwillingly, has, you know, represented all parts of the country as best as it can. Is that what it's saying?
Yes, there's a reflection. The speaker is from the northeast. The deputy speaker is from the southwest. So that is a reflection. I don't know what they want the party to do.
So now the party is asking that the majority leader also come again from the southwest, and it was seem that people are saying that shouldn't happen because the southwest already has a major position.
The party is correct because that Temi Agbajimala also, yes, he was a minority leader in the House of Representatives in the last section. So if the party says, look, because of his experience as a legislator, he should be the majority leader, there is something wrong with that. That does not in any way violate the federal character principle.